I've been hearing a lot about people talking about Hollywood taking over Comic-Con. It seems to me, though, that it might be the other way around. I think Comic-Con's taking over Hollywood. And I think comics are taking over Hollywood. If you look at the history of Green Lantern, we have great creators like Martin O'Dell, we have Bill Finger, Gil Kane, Neil Adams, and the next person that's going to walk out on this stage. Let's hear it for Geoff Johns.
Someone did bring one.
Geoff, welcome.
Thanks.
You good?
Super psyched. This is the first Green Lantern movie panel in history, which is pretty awesome. Film looks great.
Yeah. I was down in New Orleans and I saw some of the footage, or I saw some of the work being done. You were telling me the other day it was one of the best weeks of your life as being on the set. Tell the fans a little about
the best week of my life. I think everybody here wants to see a Green Lantern movie as much as I do.
Yeah. And we're here and we're going to jump right in with some footage, right?
Yeah.
What do you guys think?
We're still really, they're really still in production. There's still a lot of work to be done, but here's the very first look at Green Lantern the movie.
So Geoff, I didn't mention before, you're the chief, what is Chief Creative Officer now, DC Entertainment.
Yep.
And guiding projects through Hollywood. It must be very exciting for you to see this one going first, since as we can see from your shirt and your hat and your career, Green Lantern means a lot to you.
Yeah, I mean, it's awesome to see filmmakers and cast so dedicated to Green Lantern. So they've done amazing work.
Outstanding. Well, we're going to bring out some more people and fill up this panel because you seem so far away. We're going to start with Greg Berlanti, the screenwriter and producer of Green Lantern. And here comes Deline, the producer of Green Lantern. And then he brought us Zorro back in a new way. He brought us James Bond back in a new way. Now he's bringing us Green Lantern director Martin Campbell. We have some cast members here for you today. Let's start with the evil genius of Hector Hammond, Peter Sarsgaard. Green without yellow, even it won't be in this movie yellow, but you have to have Sinestro. Mark Strong. As Carol Ferris in the movie, Blake Lively. And the man with the ring, Reynolds. All right, let's get right to it. I want to save time at the end for questions from the audience. You know, Ryan, one of the things that you were telling me about before is that you turned to people like Harrison Ford and Han Solo and Chuck Yeager to help sort of frame where the compass points for this character.
Yeah.
Could you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, you know, admittedly, going into this project, I didn't know as much about it as some people around here. But I met with Martin Campbell, and this is a guy that you know, has such a high standard for those around him, and not least of which himself, and that's what I initially fell in love with. But then I delved further and I learned more and more about this character, and he felt like this kind of amalgamation between Chuck Yeager and Han Solo, and he felt like this classic hero, something that I hadn't seen in a long time on film, with a character who can, you know, for lack of a more eloquent way to describe it, he could throw a punch, tell a joke, and kiss the girl. And that was really exciting to me, and I for the life of me, I couldn't figure out, you know, who wouldn't want to play that for a movie, let alone maybe 2 or 3.
Outstanding. Blake, looking out on this crowd, I think you can tell the passion that this property and a lot of the DC Comics properties stir in people. It must be interesting to step into this. It must be a...
Gosh, it's incredible. I actually came to Comic-Con a few years ago and got to walk through the crowd and take pictures with everyone. I'm excited to go to the Harry Potter panel next, too.
And then, Peter, you know, one of the things that is bundled into the fabric of this story and this franchise is things like fear and will and courage. It makes it
large heads.
What's that?
Large heads.
And large heads. Yes. Tell us about your large heads. Tell us about that.
About the large head.
Yeah, we'll start with that.
I'm a size 60. You guys know hat sizes. That's pretty big. I don't know. I didn't really realize I was going to have a large head until I had one on me.
That's weird.
It was just an incredible thing to do. I mean, being in the kind of makeup that I was in this film, and you know, it's a whole other kind of acting. It really opens up all sorts of things that you never thought you would catch yourself doing, you know. And
to a costume, and that was the concept of it. And all the lines are lines of musculature, which was our designer came up with. And if you look at a physiological picture of of muscles in the body, of course, all of those lines are very true to that. So a lot of thought's been given to it. It is a work in progress. I think it's really cool. And Nyla Dixon, who is our designer, she was on Lord of the Rings, I think has done a fantastic job, and it will eventually look incredibly cool.
You know, Donald, one of the things about this superhero film, this particular film, is that it goes off the planet. Most of the superhero films we see are confined to the alleys of Gotham or maybe the skyscrapers of New York. Talk a little bit about that as a challenge and as an opportunity.
Well, the opportunity is obviously a great one because we're going to take the audience into the center of the universe, to the planet of Oa, and they'll see the 3,600 Green Lanterns. So I think as an opportunity, what it does for a superhero movie is it takes you into a new realm. As my partner Greg Berlanti always said, it's part space opera as well. I think though the challenges are many. Obviously we had to create an entire world for this planet of Oa, and we have many teams of artists. We have a great production designer. His name is Grant Major. He also did Lord of the Rings. And we have great creature designers. We obviously will feature many of the famous and well-known Green Lantern characters. Kilowog's going to be there. You're going to see Kilowog. And you saw a little bit of Toma Ray here, and you're going to see, besides Sinestro, another large grouping of great Lantern characters that you all know, from Salak and Boudica to Bzzt. That's Martin's favorite, and the Green Man, and on. So it's a lot of the movie will be made digitally in that regard.
You know, and Greg, there's so many places to start with a movie like this. When you were coming in, tell us about your sort of priorities and maybe some of the things you didn't want to happen as far as this first film.
Well, when we were first breaking down the mythology of it, it just seemed like the natural place to start with the Silver Age character and Hal Jordan. It all sort of seemed to kind of go outward from there, and then you're just searching through all the comic books of your youth to find the best villains that you can find, and all the characters that you would want to see. I think that was the guys I wrote the draft with, Michael Green and Mark Guggenheim, who I think are here. We were just kids in a candy shop, really pouring through and putting all our favorite moments in, and we realized we had enough at that point for a few movies, and not just for one. And kept pushing stuff off and off so that the audience could go on a real journey on the first one, but not necessarily, we can't give away everything at the beginning.
That's fantastic.